LeBron James not just great, consistently great. Friday, he put up his 14th straight game with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists to start the season. Only player to do that in more games to open the season is Oscar Robertson, who did it when he was in his early 20s, and LeBron James 10 seasons ago.
Oh, with a nod to Peter Frampton, do you feel like we do? It's George Sedano here over in our studio now after being across the street covering that Lakers-Pelicans game. Are you feeling that the Lakers are the best team in the NBA right now, George?
Neil, I'm absolutely feeling it. And here's the thing. The weird part of it is they're kind of coasting a little bit and also still trying to figure things out at the same time. It's a very strange combination, but when you have two top 5 players in LeBron James and Anthony Davis and a really hungry group of guys that they brought in, like Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell, it's a recipe for success, and you've seen that thus far, and it's why they're the best team in the NBA at the moment.
Got some new faces, but the goal remains the same. All right, the Pelicans brought in a new coach, did not make the playoffs last season. Are you feeling that Stan Van Gundy and the Pels are making the playoffs this season?
No, Neil, I'm not feeling it, only because I think the West is so deep. Now, look, I reserve the right to change my opinion if they make a move, and I still think that this team could make a move to change their roster a little bit. There's a bit of they're like gluttons right now when it comes to their backcourt. There's just too many guards right now. They need to make another move. They don't have enough shooting either, right? So I think those are things that worry me about the Pelicans. I love what Stan Van Gundy's building. I just don't know if this is the year for them.
All right, the Nets are now the three-headed monster, Durant, Irving, and Harden. Are you feeling the Nets are going to win it all?
No, Neil, I'm not feeling them win it at all. Look, it's the Lakers until dethroned, in my opinion. Now, granted, with Harden, with Durant, with Kyrie, they've got the superstar power, and that's how you win in this league. So I do think that they will be in the NBA Finals. I think they'll represent the Eastern Conference, but they're going to have some bumps in the road. Giannis is out there. The Celtics with Jason Tatum are out there. Joel Embiid and company. Jimmy Butler and the defending champion Eastern Conference Miami Heat. All those teams will be formidable opponents for the Nets on their way to the Finals.
George, with a nod to Vic the Brick, I'm feeling you.
I'm always feeling you, Neil.
Urban Meyer spent his first day on the job with the Jaguars Friday, speaking with reporters. His new job takes him back to Florida, where he won 2 national titles with the Gators. He also won 1 at Ohio State, and he won 85% of his games everywhere as a college coach. That winning percentage third behind Newt Rockne and Frank Leahy. Now Meyer will try to make it happen in the NFL.
Skip the third quarter, go to the fourth quarter. We got 4 minutes left to play. The Bucks are up 1. Antetokounmpo pulls up for the 3. He was 2 of 5 from 3. He was 1 of 10 from the free throw line. Come on, man. Ensuing Mavs possession, Doncic averaging a triple-double over his last 6 games. He was a rebound shy of that in this one. Bank open there, and then James Johnson. He doesn't have to call me Johnson, and the Mavs take a 1-point lead. Bucks have, the Mavs have had the Bucks number, beat them 11 of the last 14 times. Chris Middleton stands watching the game. He goes, the 2 biggest buckets in this game were Chris Middleton's threes. They better be in the highlight. They're in the highlight. Chris Middleton goes 4 of 9 from 3, has 25. Mavs call a timeout. All right, here we go. They've got 1 timeout left. Now, entering the final minute of play, Doncic 1 of 6 from 3, under 30 seconds to play. Mavs down 2. Trey Burke shoots the 3. Cauley Stein, offensive rebound. He finds Porzingis. After Burks to Porzingis. Notice Doncic did not touch the ball, and afterwards said, hey, what about that timeout? Had the timeout, did not use it. Rick Carlisle says, hey, we'll handle that internally. You can see Doncic frustrated. Okay, we got under 2 seconds. One of the Lopez brothers at the free throw line. That's Brooke. Misses. Doncic. Off the board, no good. Antetokounmpo 31, Doncic 28 and 13. The Bucks 112-109.
We'll show him bodies. He wasn't able to get easily to step back that he loves to do. We just made him pass the ball. It's hard. You got to be locked in for 48 minutes. But I think Drew, everybody behind Drew, did a great job, switching. And when it was going downhill, we were right there.
We played bad. I'm going to say that. I think we played bad. It wasn't our good game. But, we hang up there. We had a chance to go up in that situation. So I think we did some good things even on a bad night.
Great player, great sweatshirt. Entering Friday's game, the Bucks had outscored opponents by over 11 points per game and had played just one clutch time game. Their 3-point win over the Mavs is their first clutch time win of the season, becoming the last team in the league to win a game in clutch time this season. Clutch time is their new word.
All right, so they get the clutch time win. It's a close game, Paul. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is 1 for 10 from the free throw line. How much of a concern is that for you?
Well, that has to be a huge concern. And this was the concern last year about the Bucks and why people didn't pick them to go to the finals or win it last year, because down the stretch you have to wonder, could Giannis make free throws? Could he be that guy? And you see this year, this is their first clutch time win. And thanks to their defense down the stretch on Luka Doncic, and then Middleton coming up with some big threes, that was the biggest question. Who's going to be the closer for Milwaukee? Middleton showed that tonight. But we all know that the ball is going to be in their best player's hands. And can he deliver? And if you can't make free throws and you can't knock down shots, open shots or three-pointers, that's going to be a big concern come playoff time for your best player.
There he is working it out. 72% for his career, but his numbers have been dropping at the free throw line over the last 5 years. He's still an MVP-type player, though. Luka Doncic picked by a lot of critics as, I should say, NBA analysts as the MVP frontrunner this season. You still going with that?
Well, he's well on his way, as you see the numbers tonight. He's close to averaging a triple-double. If he can get a few more wins toward the end of the year to where you got the Dallas Mavericks sitting in the top 4 position, then yes, because the numbers are going to be there for him. But to the victor goes the spoils. And we all know if you don't win a lot of games, then you won't get that MVP trophy. It may end up in the hands of LeBron with the Lakers being in first place.
Yep. But we'll see. Doncic does a lot of things and does a lot of things well.
Absolutely. He's fun to watch, man. I enjoy watching him every night. It's good to see Porzingis back also. He should give them a big lift.
Good to see you, too. It's the truth and nothing but the truth.
There's a restaurant next door to our studio here called Shaquille's or Shaquiles, as my wife put it. She's not a huge sports fan. Shaq's beloved by Laker Nation. Rings do that, so the restaurant a block from where the Lakers play makes sense. Now, James Harden opening a restaurant in Houston. That's a tougher one to swallow. The steakhouse is named 13, Harden's number with the Rockets. Except now he's wearing 13 for the Nets. 13, the Chop House, is scheduled to open this month. It's getting reviews already, and one comment reads, doesn't quite have that championship taste. Will 13 deliver?
After the bubble, after that loss, just wanted to reevaluate my career and the team and the direction that the organization was going. And, you know, as time went on and free agency and things like that started to go on, it was like, well, I felt like we didn't have a chance, you know, and so I think at the point in my career, it's not about money. It's not about anything else but having a chance at reaching the ultimate goal. Is to winning at the highest level.
From your post-game comments after the Lakers lost to what your teammates were saying about you as far as being disrespectful, it got pretty ugly at the end of your tenure in Houston. Is there any part of you that regrets the way that it ended?
I wasn't disrespectful to anyone. Those guys had just got there, Houston. I've been there for a very long time. I've been through all the ups and downs, with that organization. And I wasn't disrespectful towards anyone. You know, I just made a comment. So there were some things I felt like out of my character. But the ultimate goal was to get somewhere, where I can compete. And here I am in Brooklyn. You know, I have nothing but love and respect for that organization, that city, and everything that they've done for me and my family. And it's not a guarantee that me coming to Brooklyn is, guaranteeing the title. But I think for me, giving myself a chance is very, very important. And, I mean, you just look at this entire roster, and it's built for any style of basketball you want. And then the coaching staff who, knows the game of basketball at a high level. You just add that all together, and it's like that's a legit chance right there. It was a no-brainer for me.
All right, so after all, we couldn't let Paul go without talking about this. Okay, so now you got James Harden added to a team with Kyrie Irving, we think, and Kevin Durant, all ball-dominant players.
Yeah.
Let's talk about on the court first. How's this going to work?
Well, it's going to have to be some type of sacrifice. Who's going to be able to not have the ball in their hands when they're used to having it in their hands most of the time? And if these players are true to themselves and they say to each other, we want to win a championship, then you're going to have to take the sacrifice, which means we're not going to see all these isolation plays that we're used to seeing from James Harden in Houston. We're not going to see Kyrie dribble the ball 24 seconds until he can get a shot. This is Durant's team, and everything has to go through Durant. And if they can understand that, this team has a great chance. But listen, who doesn't want this trio on the court? Because they have all the ingredients. And one of the main ingredients to win a championship is you have to have a top 5 player. If you look at it every year, and they have 2 of them.
Okay, so you say it's Durant's team, okay?
That's Durant's team.
On the floor, okay? So now we get to the locker room, and these are some complex personalities that we have here, all 3 of them. How does that work?
Well,
you said Steve Nash has the toughest job in North American pro sports?
Steve Nash has the toughest coaching job in sports because not only does he have to probably redesign this offense, he has to manage egos. He has to make sure everybody's happy. And now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
It's championship or bust in Brooklyn.
And it's his first year.
Hey,
as a coach.
It's his first year. And so that's why I feel like he has the toughest job, because you got a guy with no coaching experience, coaching 2 of the top 5 players in the league. Kyrie is arguably top 10. And so there's a lot of pressure there in Brooklyn to win a championship.
If you had to guess right now, I'll put you on the spot, how far do they go?
I believe this team can get to the finals. There's no excuse. You got Durant. Wherever Durant goes, you have finals